What you can see here is me rocking the top of his tail a little bit to see how he will react. And sometimes horses lean into it a little bit like he did just here, and that's something I can click. But let's pause a little bit and start with what we are actually doing here. This is the very first session of trying to explore crunches, and this is a horse that does not know clicker training yet, so we're trying to find crunches at the same time as starting to introduce the clicker. Intrinzen crunches are an exercise to help horses rediscover the feeling of lifting their back, of getting into an agile posture. They don't have to be done at standing, but with some horses who have really lost touch with their back or don't have a lot of muscles, it can be helpful to start with standing crunches. You can see from the lack of back muscles that he's not usually lifting his back. He's not using these muscles well. I'm definitely expecting him to have a hard time finding crunches, which is why I try to position him on a slight slope so that he has his front feet elevated, which makes things a little bit easier. The first task with any horse starting crunches is to find out what is easiest for them to understand the movement and maybe rediscover the movement. And here you can see me actually pushing him forward a little bit. It's very important that for him that's not aversive. He is very used and okay with humans touching him. Otherwise I would not have done it. And here you can see that me standing beside of him is very difficult for him because he doesn't know what to do and he thinks we are doing some kind of stretches, something that he probably knows. So I go further back a little bit and try the rocking. It's really interesting to observe what happens now. He decides to start to go backwards, but in the moment he decides to do so, he has a really awesome weight shift. You can see the chest muscles engaging and he leans back, and that's the moment I choose to click and reward. Here I'm rocking his tail again. You can see that the swing stops at his withers. Here he didn't know what to do, so he turned towards me. That's not what I wanted, but it doesn't matter. He still gets a reward. In these cases, I reward, but I don't click. That he's not swinging with his whole body gives me important information that he is not very relaxed and very subtle, so that's definitely something we want to work on. What you can see in this clip is me trying to rock him a little bit again, push him a little bit, see if he'll push into it. And I could have clicked these tiny micro movements, but it felt it was just, he wasn't actively doing them. So I tried to take it a little bit further, give him some more input in his hind legs, in his muscles to see if he could react to that, maybe get some feeling back, some proprioception, and then we got a really nice movement that I clicked. We turned around a little bit and it's a bit harder because we're actually down slope now, and you can see that it's very confusing for him. Never mind, I used the chance to reposition. Of course he gets a treat. I don't want him to get frustrated. If I had the impression that he was really angry or frustrated, I would make it easier for him, but he seems okay. So we continue, and you can see that I clicked here for the tiniest movement, and that's sometimes all it is in the beginning. And here we see a nice backward swing. I'm still pushing a lot. I wouldn't do that with all the horses, but it worked great for him just to give him the idea. He doesn't know any targeting yet, so I can't use a hand target towards back to his back, which is something I would normally do with a horse that has clicker experience. And I definitely don't want to use any signals he knows, because he is very well trained in a traditional way, so he will be very compliant to -R signals, and I don't want to mix these two in this case. Here I'm back to rocking the tail again, giving a bit of tactile input, a bit of touch on his hind legs, just seeing what happens, if he will react to it. And here he was more or less turning the head to see what was going on, but that led to him rocking backwards and leaning on his hind legs a bit more, And that's why I clicked it. You know, it doesn't matter if it's planned or unplanned at first. Like here, he was starting to move towards me and we got a little backwards lean. That's what I clicked. You can see I was standing at his side again and he thinks that he should maybe stretch. And I saw the beginning of a little lean back here. Maybe you got it. And I got a little bit of a bigger one and I was really happy about it.